This is a big Mini. Not quite the biggest Mini, especially not when you stack it against the Countryman, but with 2 extra doors in the back, it sure is bigger than the Mini One. Welcome everybody to the Mini One 5-door. So, the looks. Still distinctly Mini, and according to the brand, this new model is 41mm longer than the pre-facelift model. 41, that's just 4 cm, not much. Wheelbase remains the same at just under 2.6 meters, still relatively small, even with the addition of these rear doors. That being said, these rear doors aren't huge. If you take a step back, you can actually see the difference. And to demonstrate that, yep, under 80, just over 100. Quite a fair amount of difference, like about this much. So, what else is new? Well, the car's got a new face with an updated front fascia that has more smoothed out panels, even though it's not an EV, as well as a thicker gloss black strip that runs along the entire grille that looks like David Ko's attempts at growing a goatee. The headlight units have been updated, LED units as standard this time. There aren't any fog lamps. Instead, you get these slits here that sort of acts as an air curtain. You do get the Union Jack motifs in the rear tail lamp design, as is befitting of a Mini, and it retains the same clamshell style bonnet like before. Sadly, things under the hood aren't as interesting. All you get in this base model is a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder turbo that produces 102 horsepower. Luckily, it's got 190 Newton meters of torque, so it has a little grunt. Thank God for BMW engineering. Thankfully, this car isn't that heavy. 1,310 kilos, give or take a few kilos for fluids or people. 0 to 100 takes 10.6 seconds on the top speed of 192 kilometers per hour. Nothing to shout about, perfectly reasonable for a car like this, and it's quite snappy too, all thanks to a 7-speed Steptronic dual clutch gearbox that has fairly short gear ratios. However, you don't get pedal shifters in this car. None. Okay, to be fair, if you were in the more powerful Cooper S or GCW cars, those would come fitted with pedals naturally. But it's still a nice thing to have, and especially if you're going to perform some quick overtakes. Alternatively, you can just chuck this gear lever to the left and roll through the gears yourself manually. You get a multi-function steering wheel as well, and it has physical buttons. Welcome change. I'm not a fan of these thumb bolsters though. They're too thick at the 10 and 2 position. You get a new gauge cluster panel with a 5-inch screen in the middle. This is actually a needle, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a needle, it's not digital. This is digital. You also get an 8.8-inch infotainment screen with this barcode-looking facade with ambient lights beneath it. Sadly though, you can't change the ambient light color in this car. I've tried, maybe not hard enough, but this is all I get. Anyway, even in the back, it's relatively spacious. I'll fit here, no sweat, but I advise against fitting 3 adults, or the middle person is going to be straddling this cup holder. But it's okay, you can get them to keep your latte warm. Now, what's the Mini One 5-door like to drive? Well, first off, the ride isn't that supple. I mean, it is fairly comfortable unless you have a butt made of glass. But over ruts and little creases and dents and road, you do, yeah, just like that, you do feel everything that's happening. But the suspension is pretty stable. Even going through the corners at speed, it rides relatively flat. And if you want a little bit more fun, like I said, chuck it in manual. And thank God this gear shifter isn't like some of the BMW gear shifters that we've seen as of late. It's robust, it's stubby. It almost doesn't feel like a electronic linkage instead of a manual one. And I could almost feel like I'm Colin McRae growing through the gears in a rally stage. Oh, like that. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about this car? Does the Mini with 5 doors work, or would you just trade up and get the Countryman instead? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe or follow us. This is TopGear Singapore. Thank you for watching.